Hey viewer, what's up? Just wanted to give you a little heads up. I screwed the pooch, and I've screwed the pooch before, but this time I took the pooch and bent it over a barrel and showed it to 50 states. Um, when you watch this video, if you choose to continue to watch the video, just you'll probably notice that the drawing that you are seeing be created is not on the thumbnail that you saw when you clicked on the link or whatever, when you clicked on this video to watch it. That is because I stupidly erased the video footage of the latest Chukaso for bad art, which was one side having all these indie game characters like standing off against the other side of like AAA big franchises. And I say stupidly because it, normally you'd say an accident, but it was just stupid. Just to give you a little rundown of what it takes to put these videos together. Basically, all week I draw the picture and record it while I'm drawing. And the camera I use only records like maybe 15 to 16 minutes and then it stops. So I have to keep on doing that until I'm done with the drawing. So the clips could be anywhere from like 8 to maybe like 15 or 20. And each clip is like, I want to say like maybe 3 to 4 gigs, sometimes a little more. And that eats up a lot of hard drive space. So I recorded the drawing. I had all the clips in a folder ready to go. I put them in Premiere. I transferred them over to Premiere and started putting all the clips together, put the little graphics in there and the intros and stuff. And then I went to go record the audio, came back, and like as I was moving some files around, like putting the audio onto the computer to put in the Premiere, I noticed that my folder in videos was just getting full of all the past episodes I've done of bad art. So I pretty much was just like, oh, okay, let me make some space while I have time to do it. So I started shift clicking and control clicking all kinds of stuff, and I pressed delete. I said, are you sure you want to permanently delete these files? Keyword permanently. I said yes. And I went straight into Adobe Premiere to put this video together and everything. And it was like, oh, all these video clips that you had, we can't find them. Where'd they go? And I was just like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I cannot believe I just erased the video clips that I actually need to put this video together. And here we are. And I stayed up all night pretty much trying to recover the files, because when you delete stuff off your computer, it's not actually deleted. It's just kind of like it's off the computer, but it's not. It's like somewhere in the ether waiting to be overwritten by other space when need be. And I was trying to, I used some program called Recuva or something. That was a lot of people were talking about online, and that didn't work. My girlfriend even tried. She couldn't figure it out. I tried restarting the computer or recovering the memory like back like maybe a couple days before I erased the videos, and it still wouldn't pop up. So I chalked it up as a loss, and as you can believe, I was pissed. I was truly, truly pissed. And lo and behold, like as I was still like searching the net and stuff, like I was to the point where I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I've done like 13 videos straight of posting them on YouTube and everything for everybody to look at and enjoy. I was like, I think I deserve 1 week I think I deserve to miss 1 week. You guys aren't going to miss 1 week. And lo and behold, I stumbled across this thumbnail of, it was like the BVS trailer, Batman vs. Superman, and Shia LaBeouf was in it. And I was like, what the hell is this? So I clicked on it, and it was the BVS trailer, but it was like someone had cut in Shia LaBeouf just giving like this big motivational speech and stuff to Batman and everything. And I was just laughing my ass off, and I was like, where the hell did this come from? So I ended up searching for that. And finally found the video where I guess like it's some project that he did with this school. Was it Central St. Martin's? It's some school in London, I guess. And it's just this 30-minute video of him just doing all these little like excerpts or whatever, just like little scenes and poetry and stuff. And one of those was the full motivational speech where he's just like, do it! Just do it! And he's like sitting in front of a green screen. He's just really getting into it. And I was just laughing my ass off. But at the same time, I was like, he's right. This is the universe right now, like trying to tell me not to give up, you know? And so I watched the video, dude, and I mean, I don't like nor dislike Shia LaBeouf. I mean, there's some movies that I like of him in them, and there's other movies where I'm just wasn't impressed with his performance. But overall, I think he's a decent actor. With all the crazy stuff that's been going on with him, like when it comes to that kind of stuff with actors and artists and everything, it's just I don't even try and react to it as much. I just chalk it up to them either they're looking for attention or some kind of art project that they're working on or some kind of role for their movie, or they literally just have went off the deep end and started going crazy, you know what I mean? And it's getting publicized. But I mean, I'm sure this is like a big thing on the internet. I just stumbled upon it yesterday, and I'm just like, it really hit me. It made me understand or made me notice that what I'm doing with bad art, I mean, no matter where it goes, it's like, I want to keep on doing it. I like doing it. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps me motivated. It gives me something to do instead of just sitting around watching TV and playing video games all day. And so I just want to thank Shia LaBeouf for that motivational speech. I want to thank Joshua Parker, the guy who actually wrote the speech. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. I got the message, and I decided to take that motivation and that help that they gave me, and I transferred it into just drawing up a picture real quick to give you guys something. And I'll put that on the video, and I'll still put the other picture on the video because that picture's done. It's just you can't see the process of how it was made. So I'm sorry about that. But the picture that you're watching that's currently getting drawn right now is just it's this thing that I got from my uncle, which he got from his dad, which is my grandpa, Charles Clavon. He I guess he used to say, like back in the day with my uncle when he was a kid, when he would like mess up or just do something like self-inflicted or just something where he could have easily prevented, but he just like messed up. You know, it was complete user error. And when you want to just kick yourself in your own ass. So I guess my grandpa was just like always saying, you know, like one of these days, boy, I just want to make a kicking machine. And just so whenever I mess up, I'll just stand in front of it and just, you know, have it kick me in the ass to get my shit straight. You know, just something like, he said something like that. And my uncle he always said that to my uncle, and my uncle always said that to me. So, I mean, this was definitely one of those moments where I messed up. This was my mistake. And I immediately was just like, after listening to the motivational speech, I was like, I got to draw something. I got to put something together for the people, for the viewers out there, you know, because I do appreciate the views that you guys give me and the likes and dislikes and, you know, so the critiques. I appreciate all that. So I just threw this together real quick. I was so off my game though, man. Like I was still raging. I was still upset with myself as I was drawing it. As you can see, if you pay close attention, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I messed up a couple times on the drawing. Like my character alone, my caricature of myself alone is wrong. Like my hairline is not that low. I wish my hairline still looked like that. I got a 5 head, okay? I got a big old bulging forehead. And, you know, so I messed up on that. I messed up on the machine, like where on the top of the machine where it says start and cancel, like I spelled cancel wrong. So I was trying to fix that. And like nothing was just going right for me. And I wanted to put 4 boots instead of 2 on the little spindle. And I was just getting so mad. And then once I got done with it, I got finished with it. I signed it, you know, put the date on it or the year on it. And, I was just like, okay, it needs something else, because what is it missing? And I was so mad because like of all the errors that I've already done and leading up to this error, that I was like, I was just gonna put dumb some batch on there. And dumb some batch is just a phrase I always say since I was a kid. It just sounds funny, and I like saying it to people. It's a little more polite than saying dumb some bitch. So I just say dumb some batch. Be like, you dumb some batch. And that's exactly what I was today. So, if you hear me sniffling or whatever like that, it's not because I'm crying. It's just I'm actually officially sick. I've been fighting this cold since Sunday, and it's finally starting to take its toll. My nose is trying to run, but I just won't let it. Throat is hurting. So, I'm sorry about that. Usually I post these up on Monday, so this should be posted up on Tuesday. So, and I was talking about E3 and making predictions and premonitions and whatever crap like that. So some things have changed. I mean, I guess one of the things I was looking forward to was Quantum Break, and a news story broke today where they said Quantum Break isn't going to be at E3. So that sucks. And Capcom announced that they were making, or they're coming out with a Mega Man Legacy Collection, which is, whatever Capcom do. Whatever. Clearly, like I said it before, I'll say it again. Just people have just hit a creative wall. They're dry. Somebody needs to be giving me a job in those departments. But anyway, I've talked long enough. This is probably going to go on record as the longest video that I've made so far. But that is okay, because at the end of the day, it's my show. I say what goes and what doesn't go. So in other words, I don't give a fuck.
Drawing things for complete strangers, but my parents will probably watch this, so I guess they're not our strangers completely. Bad art.
Yellow. B-A-D space A-R-T. Draw things, talk things. Let's talk E3. So, yes. So last week, E3 was around the corner. This week, E3 is right down the street. I can see it. I'm looking at it right now. I'm seeing them setting up everything. You can see Sony putting up their little PlayStation logo. I see Xbox putting up their logo, and Nintendo setting up booths, because they don't do like the flashy press conferences anymore. But, I see them. I see you, Nintendo. No, but so E3 2015 is coming. It's next week, and I'm trying to decide on if I'm excited or not. I've been excited a couple times, and I've been let down during the E3s. They just really didn't show what I was expecting. Or, dude, there was one, I want to say it was like 2012. Literally, I shit you not, it literally felt like every game they showed was from a first person perspective, where it was first person perspective, and there was a gun floating around and shooting everybody in a room. And it seemed like every game was like that. I'm pretty sure it was 2012. I can't remember. Try looking it up one day, but maybe you'll notice. But I'm kind of excited for this year's E3, just because the consoles are now broken in. I think it's time for developers to put up or shut up, mainly on PlayStation side, where you really haven't been hearing a lot from them as far as like putting out some games. You just know that they're working on projects. And I'm ready to see some games, man. I'm ready to see some games on what these systems were built for. So, I'll start off with just talking about what I'm excited for, or what I would like to see, And we'll start with PC. They recently announced XCOM 2, and I'm very excited for that game, because I really enjoyed the first XCOM game that came out. I think it was 2, maybe 3 years ago, the one by Firaxis. I really enjoyed playing that game. In fact, now that I think about it, I never did beat that game. It was one of those things where, because that game was so hard that I just constantly played it all the time, and I probably got like near the end or somewhere around there, and I ended up getting stuck on a part and something else had came out, so I went and played that game. And then something else came out, and I went and played that game. And then next thing you know, like years have went past, and I'm just like, I never did beat XCOM. But it's never too late. I still remember where I'm at. I'm on the part where you just get the upgrade to have like a mind block, because there's like this one guy that walks around in a red robe, and he can like take control of your teammates and turn them against you. And I just got the thing that where you can put the implants in the soldiers' heads to where that doesn't have any effect on them anymore. So I could probably go back and finish that game. One of these days I will. Just not right now. It's only for PC. That kind of sucks because I don't know if my little laptop can run that game. I hope it can. I'm holding out the hope that they will eventually bring it over to consoles, maybe like a year or two from now, but we'll see. But it looks promising as far as like, I think they just showed a cinematic trailer like they usually do, but it's XCOM 2. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be that far from the first game as far as like gameplay and look wise. So, but they did show that they have like a new alien race that you're going to be fighting that looks reptilian. So that's interesting. Yeah, kind of creepy because reptiles creep me out, but still look forward to that game. Another game I want to see some more on is Overwatch. Blizzard has been really not stepping up their game because they've been like putting out good games, but they've been getting on my radar a lot lately. Hearthstone, I still play Hearthstone till this day. I'm so happy that it finally came out on mobile. Now that's pretty much all I play on my phone, and I rarely play games on my phone. There's only a couple games I play on my phone, and Hearthstone is one of them. And yeah, I'm really excited for Overwatch, and once again, I hope that my little laptop can run that game. I'm waiting for them to, I don't know if they release specs or not, but if they did, I need to go and talk to my PC consultant, which is my cousin, and he knows all about the specs and everything for computers. And whenever he gives me the green light and says that my computer can run it, then I most likely will get the game and play it on the computer. I've heard talk that they're actually going to show Fortnite, like more gameplay and stuff on it. I don't think they showed gameplay before, but Fortnite was announced a long time ago. I think whenever Gears of War 3 came out was when they announced Fortnite, because I remember them shortly announcing that game after Gears 3 had been out. And that was years ago. I'm talking like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 4 or 5 years ago. And they're just now, and I've heard rumblings that they're going to show that at E3. And I'm excited to see what that game looks like, because the premise sounds pretty cool. It's a whole thing of during the daytime, you go and you scavenge and get like materials and stuff, and you go back to your base and you build up a fort. And you have to do it before nightfall because these like aliens or little monsters will come out and attack you. So if that sounds familiar to you, yes, it sounds like Minecraft, but I'm not into Minecraft. Minecraft is more of a build your own type of game kind of thing. This Fortnite kind of seems like it has an actual premise or a storyline, which is one of my main reasons for playing games is I play them for gameplay and storyline. So but yeah, that game is on my radar for sure. That pretty much does it for PC. It's not too much going on there for me. They recently came out with this one game I had my eye on for a while. It's called Invisible Incorporated. It's from Clay Entertainment. They've made games like Shank and Shank 2 and Mark of the Ninja, which are, I haven't played Shank 2, but I've played Shank 1, Mark of the Ninja. I can't remember the other games that they did, but the games that I have played, I have enjoyed them. And this game I'm really interested in this game. It's a turn-based stealth type game. So like picture something like Final Fantasy Tactics, but with like a corporation of people trying to break into a building, like knocking out security systems and stuff. So I'm really interested in that game. Wii U or Nintendo in general. What I want to see from Nintendo is it's time for a price drop on the Wii U because Splatoon is out. I own it. I've played it. I do not own a Wii U, and I refuse to pay $300 for that system. I honestly do not think that system is worth $300. It's like, by the time you include the taxes on it, like buying it at that price, I might as well just buy a Xbox One. You know what I mean? So I think it's time for a price drop on the Wii U. And if they do, I think they would probably drop it maybe like $50, but I think the sweet spot's $200. I think if you drop that system down $200, it will fly off shelves because they have a few games out that you can play on there besides Splatoon. That's the other thing too, is just I want to see games that take advantage of that system. Like when they first came out with that system, you know, they did their whole thing where they're like, "Oh, the Wii U is more powerful than the Xbox 360 and the PS3." And it's like, and you look at their games, like I said last week, you look at their games and it's like, from a visual standpoint, the games don't look that impressive. Like games like Super Mario World or whatever, or Super Mario 3D World, that game, and like Toad's Treasure Tracker, those games look like they could run on my DS, honestly. They look like polished DS games. And, you know, but then they'll put out like Donkey Kong's Tropical Freeze, and, you know, now they're trying to hype up this Yoshi's Woolly World, where it's like these side-scrolling games. Like, they look really impressive, like the graphic fidelity of it and the details and stuff. They look impressive, but it's like, dude, it's a 2D side-scroller. Like, expand the world. Like, I can't help but look at the background of those games and be like, I want to explore that. Okay, I don't want to run from left to right anymore. Okay, on this system, like, give me a full-fledged game and fully flesh out this world that you're building. You know, so I want to see that from Nintendo. I heard that they're gonna show Star Fox because apparently that's supposed to be coming out this year. I think, I'm not too sure about that, but I want to see what that's gonna be like. I hope it's something. I've hoped they've kind of like expanded the gameplay and not just do the whole follow this pathway into this open field to do a dogfight and then rinse and repeat. I want them to add some more to it. Like maybe it's time to combine the whole like walking on foot and flying around and stuff. Like, I know a lot of people didn't really like Star Fox Adventures, but I actually thought, I never played it, but I thought it was a cool idea to be like, let's take him out of his ship and have him run missions. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, everybody's like, well, it's Star Fox, he's supposed to fly around. Well, technically, I mean, you're in the stars. He's Star Fox. He can go to different planets and, you know, do some stuff. Like, he had the one tank on Star Fox 64 that was on the ground. You have a problem with that, so just do that on foot. So yeah, do something like that. Do some 4-player co-op, maybe. You know, like have somebody be Slippy and Peppy and Falco. You know, put some voice chat in there so people can be like, do a barrel roll. But, you know, let's see, what else does Nintendo need to do, or what I want to see? I would like to see an amiibo game, honestly. I really want to see these amiibo little statue figurine things get utilized more than just glorified memory cards. Make an official amiibo game, okay? And have it to where, like, if you put Mario onto a little transfer thing, it's gonna like open up this, it's gonna put Mario into the game and you're gonna play Mario games, like 3D World type games or something, you know. If you're gonna put Pit in there, do something with Pit. And then have your little toy box area thing where you build stuff like Disney Infinity does. Like, do something like that. It's time for a full-fledged amiibo game. Because I highly doubt that a lot of people are using those amiibos for what they're supposed to be used as, which is unlocking game content. I think a lot of people are getting those amiibos, like me, and just putting them on their desks as like little trophies. Like, yep, that's a nice looking figure right there. You know what I mean? And on the subject of amiibos, get the stocking and shipments and manufacturing process of this thing under control, because it is ridiculous. And this is actually worthy of its own episode of the trials and tribulations I've been through with these amiibos. But That needs to get locked down, and it needs to be more than them just saying, we're working on it, guys. We're working on it. It took us by surprise. It took you by surprise. You're Nintendo. You know, you didn't think a whole bunch of people were going to rush to a store and buy Mario figures? Jesus. And you got people, and then it's like they have certain figures where they only put like one in entire shipment. And it's like, and they sell like that, you know what I mean? And then they're back on eBay and Amazon for like 10 times the original price. Come on, Nintendo, get it together. Last thing about amiibos. So like they keep doing DLC with Smash Brothers. They came out with Mewtwo and they came out with Lucas. I haven't heard anything about amiibos for those characters, but I'm hoping that they do because I would really like to have a Lucas amiibo. But if they do make amiibos for those characters, here's the next DLC piece that I want for Smash Brothers. Bring back Solid Snake. Bring back Solid Snake. Not only will I buy that DLC day one, I will buy that amiibo day one when you make the amiibo with that character. And if you do like Marth and all these other rare ones where you make it like hard to find them, I will not hesitate to cut somebody to get a Solid Snake amiibo. All right? Get your shit together, Nintendo. What else? What else is on the agenda? Xbox. What do I want to see from Xbox? I want to see some new IP from Xbox. They're kind of on a roll. Well, not really. I mean, I think the only new... Well, no, they're on a roll because they had Sunset Overdrive. I like that. I will eventually play that when I get an Xbox. Quantum Break intrigues me a lot because I like Remedy. Well, not necessarily Remedy, but I like the Alan Wake game that they made. I really love that game. It was a very pretty game. And I enjoyed the little weird story to it. I enjoyed the gameplay of it. It was very creepy and it was new. That was the most important thing, is that it was new, okay? And Xbox has kind of dropped off of it. So maybe, hopefully they'll bring something out again with Alan Wake, maybe official Alan Wake 2 or Alan Wake 3 if you account American Nightmare as a sequel or whatever. But keep coming out with new Xbox. Stop buying up things like Minecraft that's like years past the hype train, and you know, you're buying up Tomb Raider, which really sucks because I really want to play that game, but I heard that it's supposedly coming out for the 360, so I'm just going to get it for that. But I am very excited for that Tomb Raider game. Regardless of what system it's on, I will be playing that because the first Tomb Raider was awesome. And if you haven't played it yet, you need to play it because it is pretty much Die Hard in the jungle or on an island in the jungle, whatever. It's Die Hard on an island. Let's put it that way. It's awesome. Good game. One of the best games I've ever played. Let me see. What else? Halo 5. Now, we'll get into this a little later, but I am actually interested in Halo 5 now because I've heard that they're going to have other Spartans in that game. And like well-known Spartans, I heard, like from the books, like Kelly. Kelly's my favorite Spartan because she was like the fastest of everyone. And if you don't know, you should know that I'm all about speed. I like super fast things. I like things fast. I like super speed. And that was what Kelly was all about. So if she's in the game, I kind of want to play it now. Only problem is that Halo in game form really sucks with their story, with telling the story. Their books make up for that. The Halo books are good. The game story-wise is bad. Gameplay is good. That's the thing about Halo, is like I know way too much about Halo than I should, and that really makes me mad. But honestly, the games piss me off just how they do storytelling. Everything except for Reach. Reach was my favorite Halo. The only Halo I've ever really liked. But Halo's kind of like Call of Duty, where like the gameplay is really good, the mechanics are good, everything's crisp, it works, everything's responsive. But when it comes to telling a story, they just really drop the ball. So I'm excited to play the game, but then again, I'm not, just because I want to play it to see what they're doing with this story. But I kind of have a feeling that they're going to drop the ball like they always do with the story, but we'll wait and see. But I kind of want to see some more on Halo 5. Sony. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to come out with some games, bruh. Okay? I need some games. Not indie games, legit PlayStation games. I'm talking about Sony Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, Insomniac. Well, Insomniac's not really with them anymore, but Quantic Dream. Let's get Quantic Dream in there. Like, I need to see some games, man. It's time to put up or shut up. I know Guerrilla's working on a game. I don't really consider myself a Guerrilla fan because the only thing they've done is Killzone, and I am not a fan of Killzone games. I would rather play Halo than Killzone. But they're working on a new game that is not Killzone. It's supposed to be something completely new, some kind of open world, first-person shooter type thing. I have no idea, but I am excited to see what that is about. But eventually, at the end of the day, I want you to start coming out with some freaking games. Stop relying on the indies and start start like getting your developers off their asses and developing some games, okay? Because you're really making yourself look bad, because I always go back to the Sony conference where they're just like, yeah, you know, the PS4 is so much easier to develop for, and now we can make these expansive worlds and make them all believable and all this other stuff, and it's going to be so easy to develop for it. And lately, all it's been is just, yeah, this game is delayed. That game is delayed. This game is broken. The internet is just shit on this. Like, oh my God, we need more time. We need to push this, push that. Get a grip, guys, okay? Yeah, you're in over your head. I understand that game development is hard. I understand you know more about it than I do, but I'm going off of what you guys told me, okay? You complained about PS3 being hard to develop for. Now you got the PS4. You said that was easier. Start showing it. For the love of God. The Vita. Sony, what's going on with the Vita? Okay? Because I want a Vita, but I don't want a Vita. My buddy Steve, you know Steve, he got me a PlayStation TV for my birthday, so that's pretty much my Vita now. Okay? The Vita needs to be supported if you want to keep on rolling with that thing and stop making it a port machine. One of the reasons why that thing ain't selling is you're not utilizing it the way you should. It's going back to the whole thing of you came out with this handheld system saying here's the console experience with these full-fledged 3D games like Gravity Rush and Golden Abyss, but lately it's just been here's Hotline Miami 1 and 2, here's, you know, this indie game, here's Shovel Knight, here's Entwined or whatever, like all these little indie games for it, and it's like, come on, man. Like, I that stuff is available for the console. Like, why am I going to go and spend $200 on the system to play some games that I can just play on the console? Make some games that are for the Vita and only for the Vita. It might be time for a price drop as well, and you should see sales jump up. And if you want to sell the remote play even more, I need you to redesign that system. The back touch is probably one of the worst things you've ever come out with or ever created for your gaming company. I mean, I think the touchpad on the PS4 controller is a stroke of genius compared to the back touch on the Vita. Redesign it, give me some physical L2, R2 buttons, and let's go. But I need to know what's going on with this thing because I'm not trying to buy it right now for like $200 and then you come out with another one with physical R2L2 buttons. I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, let me know what's going on with that. That's about it for what I want to see. So let's get to the art. The art, this is pretty much what I think E3 is gonna be. It's gonna be a buttload of indie games going up against a buttload of AAA games. Going, like, vying for attention, you know? It's like you're going to have the big flashy AAA games, and you're going to have the little indie games with their little, like, quirkiness to them clashing together at E3, and, you know, and everybody's going to be going crazy for it. Indie games are actually doing good as far as, like, coming up with new gameplay mechanics, you know, or new ways to play games. Not necessarily new. I feel they're more like just taking older things from like older games and combining them into one, which I don't have a problem with. I think a lot of people do. I've heard people talk down on games like Darksiders, where there's like, oh, Darksiders is just Zelda, like a darker version of Zelda. I think I'll just stick to that, you know. But then they turn around and talk about Shovel Knight, where it's like, oh my god, Shovel Knight's so great. It's like Mega Man and Super Mario and Zelda mixed all into one thing, and it's just perfect. It's so awesome. I love it. And it's like, really? Because you just shitted on this game over here for being like something else. So why don't you make up your mind, you know? I don't have a problem with you taking gameplay from different things. That's how you come up with new things. You look at like Shadow of Mordor. Now, Shadow of Mordor, honestly, I look at that game and I'm just like, you know, this is just Batman, you know, and because the story, I'm not really interested in the story, but it was like Batman and the story did suck, but at least they had the Nemesis system. Like now that's something that I think a lot of developers are going to take, like they took the free flow from Batman games and incorporate that into their games now, where it's like they're going to have a Nemesis system, just like how where Microsoft did with Forza 5 with the Drivatars, where you have like where you play the game enough, it's going to build up like the AI for your actual like Drivatar, whatever it is. So like when you're not playing the game and your buddies are, they can still kind of race you. It's like you're not there, but you're there because the game kind of copied like your tactics and stuff that you do when you race. So I can see people taking that and using that in their games. And that's good. That's what happens when you have people kind of like mock your style, where it's like, we're just going to take this from you and put it in here so the game runs better. And then you have somebody pop up and be like, oh, well, we can make it better if we do this and that and do some little tweaks here and there. And that's how new shit happens, you know? Because we are to a point now where games are pretty much the same. It's like, you know, Shadow of Mordor plays like Batman. Shovel Knight plays like Mega Man and Mario and stuff. You know, first-person shooters, I mean, whether it's called Halo or Call of Duty, Wolfenstein, the gameplay is usually the same. Run into a room and shoot up a whole bunch of people. But it's like, it's the stories and the characters that like really take you over the edge or take you over the line of, I want to play this game, or I want this game, you know? And I don't even know where I was going with that, but just because that's what I think is going to happen at E3, which is just going to be a lot of sequels. Going to be a lot of sequels, a lot of remakes, you know, and sequels are good, but I think honestly, like I go off for the rule of three, where it's like you do 1, 2, and 3 to get your story across, and then take a break and do something new. For instance, for example, Uncharted. I love Uncharted. I love Uncharted games. I love Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog is my favorite game developer, like in the industry, and they've been that way. It's been that way since Jack and Daxter, back when they had created that franchise. And you know, they made Uncharted, and I loved it. I loved 1, 2 was meh. I loved 3. 3 was the best one, and then they did Last of Us, which was a good game as well. But like I said, it's pretty much just Uncharted. Like gameplay wise, it's like Uncharted, but just a little bit more stealthy as far as gameplay goes. But I loved it regardless. And I was really hoping that they were going to do something new again, where it's like, okay, let's give Uncharted a break. We did 3, we got this trilogy. Let's go and do something else. And then they're like, nope, here's Uncharted 4. And this is going to be the last one. And then we're going to move on. I'm like, no. I mean, yes, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play Uncharted 4. I'm excited for it. But at the same time, if I have my choice, I'd rather you work on something completely new. Something that's not The Last of Us, because we know there's another team working on that. And I'd rather you work on something else. Because as far as I know, Naughty Dog is still split into 2 teams. So, like, you got one team who's most likely working on The Last of Us 2. Have this other team come up with something new. Because they were on a pretty good track record where it was like, PlayStation 1, they had Crash Bandicoot. Then PlayStation 2, they had Jak and Daxter. Then PS3, they had Uncharted. So I figured they were going to do something new for PlayStation 4. Unless they were just like, well, we gave you Uncharted and The Last of Us on the PS3, so, you know, give us a break. But I don't know. I don't know. It's just, Uncharted needs a break. I think it needs to get to a point, man, where if you're using the same characters and you're putting them in the same world and you're giving them another story to kind of like progress their character and stuff, like I said, stop at 3 and give them a break. Come back maybe like 10, 20 years from now and then do Uncharted 4. Games like Fallout are different because as far as I know, those are different every time. Like it's a different character and a different world where like, there's Fallout 3, which takes place in DC, and then there's New Vegas, which takes place in Vegas, and they're two different characters. Gameplay is still the same, but the story is different. Just like with Final Fantasy, where they usually change up all the characters and all the worlds every time. So I can understand them being on like number 14, whereas like I can see that passing, but like for something like Uncharted or like Halo where it's just the same character over and over again, or like Mario, it's like give them a freaking break. That's why I love Splatoon so much, because it's something new, because usually what Nintendo does is they'll come up with like new like gameplay methods to be like, oh, like what if we made this character who had like a water pack on his back? Wouldn't that be cool? Let's do something with that. Then they'll be like, and then they'll make it. And then I guess like Nintendo execs will come through and look at it and be like, yeah, that's really good. It's a really good idea. Let's slap Mario in there so it can sell, and then it becomes a Mario game. And Splatoon could have easily been that, dude. It could have been like Mario Paint Battle. And that could have ended up being like the new Smash Brothers, or the new Mario Kart franchise with Mario's face tacked onto it again. But they decided to go with something completely new. Well, kind of new, because if you look at the little squid icons, it kind of looks like the little squids from the Mario games in the water. Go ahead and check it out. It's interesting. It really caught me off guard when I saw that. But either way, the Inkling Girl and Inkling Boy are something new as far as I'm concerned. So come out with some new stuff. Give these people a break. Assassin's Creed, my God. Assassin's Creed, I can't even play that game. Like, I played the first one a little bit, and I stopped, and I meant to go back, and I never did. By the time I tried to go back to Assassin's Creed 1, 3 was already out. And by the time 3 came out, they already had, like 3 or 4 games out, man. It was ridiculous. And it's gotten to the point now where there's so many coming out, I don't even want to play anymore because I don't want to just start from those games. I want to like go on that progression where you start from the beginning and you work your way up to see like the changes that they made to the gameplay, the little tweaks that they've done. But it's like there's just so many, man. It's like I just chalked it up as that's a franchise I'm never going to play. I'm never going to get around to doing it. And unless they make like some kind of remake or like, and that's another thing too, like they keep on porting these games from the last gen of systems, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, stop that. Work on something new. And their excuse is, the excuse that they say is that, well, we're doing this because it kind of helps us fill out the new consoles and learn some new techniques for development and stuff going into the new consoles, right? And there's other people that say like this is a way to catch people up because back in the last gen, somebody who has a PS4 didn't have a PS3, like they had an Xbox 360, so we're trying to catch them up. And I'm honestly, and there's other people, and there's gamers that say that too. I know people that have actually said that. And I'm just like, dude, if it's that important to you, why not just, instead of spending $400 on a PS4, why don't you get a PS3 and catch up? Like if it's that important, Like that's personally what I would do. Cause it sucks that you buy this new system and they're just taking games from like last year and last generation and bringing them here. It'd be another thing if it was like from an Xbox, from the Xbox, the original OG Xbox or the PlayStation 2. It'd be different if you were doing that. But this is stuff that's from the 360 and the PS3. And it's like, good Lord, like what the hell did I even buy this new system for if you guys are just going to bring over these old games, It's like, if you're going to do that, you might as well just make a remake. And I'll go ahead and end it with this last thing right here. Since you're in the business of bringing old games back, whether you're porting them from the last gen or if you're just taking something from like generations ago and bringing it back to remake it, Here's what I need you to bring back. I need you to bring back Legacy of Kain. More specifically, I need you to bring back Soul Reaver, okay? Because I love Raziel. Now, I saw the gameplay footage about the new Legacy of Kain game that they made, where they did like completely remake it. Like, Raziel looked nothing like he did when he first started, right? And I mean, I would have played it, but honestly, it's like just go back to the old Soul Reaver games, like when Amy Hennig was writing, and just remake them and bring them out for the new gen consoles, and I'll play those. Because those are old enough to the point where it's like they deserve a remake, and you're clearly out of ideas, game developers. So go back there, get that franchise, and bring it back. While you're at it, where's my SSX 2? Or whatever you want to call it. Because I love that series. I love that extreme snowboarding. I want to play with my girl Zoe again. I want to play with Mac. I want to race down the slopes. Bring that back too. Where is that at? Because SSX, the one that you had recently came out with, that game was awesome. I loved it. Still love it to this day. Probably one of the best gaming soundtracks for a game. So get to work on that. Let's get a Bulletstorm 2 going on in here, because you love sequels so much. Just go ahead and get Bulletstorm 2 up in here. Let's go to Disney. What was it? BlackRock Studios or something. Go and get this little game called Split Second, because apparently you guys are remaking Need for Speed, and I'm just like, why the hell does Need for Speed need to be remade? Because I thought you guys were on the whole thing of 1 year it's going to be a simulated racer, next year it's going to be an arcade racer. Why didn't you just stick with that? So, I mean, it's too late now. You're already remaking Need for Speed, but why, like I said, go back and get Split Second and bring that back out, okay? And give me a Split Second 2, or do your whole, don't port it, because that's from last gen, but still, bring out a sequel for that, okay? This is the stuff that I need. This is stuff that I want, all right? So, make it happen, game developers, publishers out there, talking to you all. Or hire me, for Christ's sake. I got some ideas, and I ain't giving them out for free. All right? So hire me, give you some ideas. I'll tell you what games you can bring back and what games you can't. And we can all live happily ever after. How's that sound? So, anyway. Well, I think that's about it. That was a pretty meaty episode. It's probably the longest episode I've done. But it's E3, man. And I'm a gamer. And gaming is what I love to do. One of the things I love to do, but it's one of my favorite pastimes, so had to get it out off my chest. So anyway, hopefully all is well. You all take it easy. You know what to do. Hit me up on Twitter at TheChules. At TheChules. God, Jesus, it's been so long. TheEechewells. Hit me up on there. Hit me up on Instagram. Because like I said, I'm trying to do this little contest thing where people send in their bad art intros, where they're singing the intro for me, and I'll pick the best one. And I think on, what did I say, episode 23, when I get to episode 23, if I don't die before that, I will have you intro the episode of bad art. And you can pick out whichever drawings I've done up until then, and I will make you a copy and I will get it sent out to you. So just to show my appreciation of all the views that you guys give me and the support and stuff. So just throwing it out there. But, like, dislike, do what you like. That was bad, but it could have been worse. And I'm out.